Oh, Om Sahanao Avatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Okay, in today's session, we are going to talk about, as you can see in this picture, physical sheath, which is the gross body. And then we will talk about the subtle body. And here you can see three things in the subtle body: vital sheath, which is the pran, mind sheath, and the intellect sheath. And then we will talk about some on the causal body, which is bliss sheath. And as you can see here, self, it points to two places. This one is the pure Atman of Jiva, individual self. And here we are referring to the Brahman as per our Vedan, that is supreme consciousness. Now let us start. The human being is made up of three layers or bodies. And as you could see, there are three layers: the gross body, which is the physical sheath or sthul sharir. This is our physical body made of flesh and bones. Number two, the subtle body, which we call Sukshma Sharira. This includes our mind, our emotions, intellect, and ego. Then comes the causal body, which we call Karan Sharir or Anandmaya Kosh. Karan means the cause, why I'm here. And that is the causal sharir or causal body or Karan sharir defines why we are here. This is the deepest layer where all our past impressions, which we call vasanas, and seeds of our karma are stored in our causal body. It is like the root of a tree. It causes the other two bodies to take birth again and again. Now you could understand why we call the causal body Karan Sharir. Because of that, we are here. And in this, we have our past impressions plus all seeds of our karma. The causal body is the most hidden and subtle. As you can see, physical body is what we can see. Then subtler than physical body is our subtle body, mind, intellect, and pran. And then causal body is the most subtlest. It is not easily visible or accessible, but it is very, very powerful. It is made of ignorance, which we call in Sanskrit avidya, the false belief that I am this limited body and mind. It is filled with desires, attachments, fears, and the sense of separateness from the self. The self, which we call Atman, and that is our real nature. It is not born, it does not die, and it is ever free. It is pure awareness, pure light, pure peace, and unlimited joy. But because of the veil of the causal body, this truth is hidden from you. Now, I will go back to this first screen just to show you. Now, of course, this is the way I'm trying to explain this thing. Now, this is the pure Atman of the individual. Now, this is covered with the layer called bliss sheath, which is the causal body. And that's why we are referring to here the self, the self Atman is our real nature. Where I was, the causal body, what is the self? The self Atman is our real nature. It is not born, it does not die, and it is ever free. It is pure awareness, pure light, pure peace, and unlimited joy. But because of the veil of the causal body, this truth is hidden from you. So the question becomes, how do I remove this veil? How do I purify the causal body so that the light of the self can shine clearly? It's a very important question. Because why I'm here? I'm here because of the causal body. And because of that layer of causal body, I cannot see my true nature, which is pure Atman. So now the question is, how do I remove this veil? How do I purify the causal body so that the light of the self can shine clearly? One answer you should have by now very clearly. If I purify the causal body, which means there is no cause left for me to come here, right? There is no point for me to come here. So one question is already resolved. The causal body cannot be acted upon. We can't do anything in this physically, like directly, like you wash your hands or cook food. We can't do that. Instead, it must be understood, observed, and dissolved through right knowledge and sincere spiritual effort, which we call sadhana. Now, let me guide you through what needs to be done here. Number one, we are not our causal body. We are the pure self, untouched by anything. We have determined that. The causal body is just a covering, like a cloud covering the sun. Sun is always there. But the clouds, when they cover, we say sun is not there. Do not get identified with it. This is the beginning of wisdom. Number two, our causal body contains vasanas, deep rooted tendencies and desires. They make us run here and there in the world, seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. The more we run after them, the more the causal body strengthens. Now, this is one important thing. So, what should we do? Watch these tendencies without acting on them impulsively. Like a witness, slowly they lose their power. It is like I give an example most of the time. Let's say you have a blank paper and I give you a pencil and I ask you to write your name softly on that paper. Turn over this page. Can you see your name clearly written? No. Turn it back and I ask you to rewrite on your name again the way where you had written. Turn the page again. Can you see your name written? Maybe a little bit more. So if you keep writing your name again and again, again and again on the same paper, same place, now when you turn over the page, you will be able to see your name very clearly. And that's what we are talking here. Point number 3, ask yourself again and again, is this real? Will this desire give me lasting peace? Who am I truly? Like I gave you one more example before we continue. Let's say I went for a dinner at some friend's place and they served me some very tasty sweet dish. And after enjoying the dish, before leaving, I asked them, from where did you buy this sweet dish? From which shop? And they told me that it is around 40 kilometers away from where I'm living. I came home. Now I enjoy the sweet dish. Wonderful, no question here. But I tried to sow a seed in my mind that this sweet dish is so tasty and I should try again. I came home. Following week, I said, okay, let's go to that shop and buy the sweet dish. See the outcome of that seed which I had sowed there? Now, if you keep repeating about that dish, you are sowing a seed in your causal body automatically. And that's what we are trying to say here. Try to remove from there rather than adding the seed in the causal body. This practice of discrimination between the real and unreal, between the eternal and temporary, slowly weakens the causal body's control over us. For example, the same example I gave you about the sweet dish, if you stop thinking about the sweet dish, what will happen? That imprint which is in the causal body about that sweet dish will be deleted automatically. Point number 4, practice detachment. Learn to gently let go of attachments. Understand that nothing in the world, no object, no person, or any achievement can give us the infinite joy we are seeking. And that joy is within you, within me, within everyone. And that is pure Atman. As detachment grows, The vasanas stored in the causal body begin to dissolve like fog melting under the sun. Point number 5, act in the world but without attachment to the results. Offer every action to the divine, and this is called karma yoga. When actions are performed in this selfless way, they no longer create new impressions in the causal body. Instead, they purify it, making it lighter and thinner, like a veil that becomes more transparent. Point number 6, go inward daily. Sit in silence and meditation. Slowly, the mind becomes still. The waves of desire settle down. Then you begin to experience peace beyond words. And this inner stillness burns away the seeds of the causal body. The more we meditate, the more the veil of the causal body is burned by the fire of awareness. And finally, with the help of the Guru, study the scriptures like the Bhagavad Gītā and Upanishads. Through deep listening, reflection, and meditation on the truths, the illusion of the causal body is broken. And you come to realize I was never the body or the mind. I was never the causal body. I am the ever pure, ever free, ever blissful self. And this is called self realization, which means realizing that who am I? I am this pure self, pure Atman. When the causal body is fully purified and its false coverings are removed, what remains is the shining light of the self. There is no more confusion, no more fear, and no more rebirth. We rest in our true nature like a wave that has merged back into the ocean. So if we do not want to come in this world, the only thing what we need to do is we need to understand how to clear the baggage or the garbage, whatever we have in our causal body. And if that point is clear to you, and from now on, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we try to understand Bhagavad Gita, it tells us each and every step how you can clear your causal body. Now let's go further. We are trying to understand now other three sheaths: subtle body, intellect sheath, which is Vigyanmaya Kosh, and the mind sheath, which is Manomaya Kosh, and the vital sheath, which is Pranamaya Kosh. Now we have already understood very well we are not just this physical body of flesh and bones. Then what we are? Deep within, we are made up of more delicate layers, which is invisible, yet very real. These are known as the subtle body or Sukshma Sharir. It is subtler than the gross physical body, and it plays a key role in our thoughts, emotions, and life energy. Thoughts related to intellect, emotions related to mind, and life energy related to vital sheath. This subtle body is made up of three main sheaths or coverings. Now, let us understand them in detail now. Vigyan Kosh, the intellect sheath. This is the layer of intelligence, discernment, and wisdom. When you ask questions such as, is this right or wrong? What should I do in this situation? Which path leads to peace and which sorrow? It is this intellect sheet that is working for you. It is like a charioteer of a horse drawn chariot. The charioteer holds the reins, which are our senses, directs the horses, which are our desires and emotions, and keeps the chariot on the right path, which is our life. Without a wise charioteer, the horses may go wild and lead us into danger. But remember, this intellect can also be clouded. If it is trained well through self inquiry, scriptural wisdom, and noble guidance, intellect becomes sharp and very clear. Only then it helps you make wise decisions that align with dharma, which is righteousness. So we understood about the intellect sheath. Now we are going to talk about Manomaya Kosh, which is the mind sheath. This is the layer of thoughts, feelings, memories, and emotions. This sheath is always active, like the surface of a pond that is rippled by the wind. Our mind constantly reacts to what we see, hear, and experience. It creates likes and dislikes, joy and sorrow, hope and fear. This layer is very powerful. It can either bind you or set you free. If your mind is restless, it pulls you into confusion. But if your mind is calm and pure, it becomes your best friend. The scriptures say the mind alone is the cause of bondage or liberation. The mind alone is the cause of bondage, attachment, or liberation. That is why we must train the mind with practices like meditation, prayer, chanting, and self reflection so that it becomes still like a quiet lake, reflecting the truth clearly. And I always mentioned about two things about the mind. Number one, Chitta Shuddhi, purity of mind. And other one, Chitta Ekagrata, single focused mind. This is what we need to achieve for our mind. The third one is Pranamaya Kosh, the vital sheath. This is the layer of life force energy known as Pran. It flows in the body through subtle channels called nadis, and it sustains all our physical and mental functions. It is the pran that gives our body its animation. Without pran, the body is like a light bulb without electricity. We may have all the organs but no life. This sheath governs our breathing, digestion, circulation, and even our nervous energy. That is why we do pranayam, the regulation of breathe, to balance and purify this vital energy. We will talk about all these sheaths more in detail in future sessions. When your pran is steady and strong, your mind becomes peaceful, your health improves, and your inner awareness deepens. Now you can understand the intellect sheath, which is Vigyan Kosh, helps you think clearly and make wise decisions. The mind sheath, which is Manomaya Kosh, holds your thoughts, emotions, and desires. And the third one, the vital sheath, which is Pranamaya Kosh, gives your body the energy and life to function. These three sheaths together form the subtle body. Physical body, subtle body, which travels with the soul. Very important point for you to note. These three sheaths together form the subtle body, which travels with the soul even after death, carrying the impressions which we call vasanas of your past actions, emotions, and experiences. They are the instruments through which you experience the world. Now remember this most important truth. We are not the sheets. We are not the body. We are the eternal self, the pure awareness, the witness behind all these layers. As you study these sheets and observe their play without getting caught in them, you begin your journey toward self realization. So, when we started our uh, this topic, we were talking about the causal body, and I mentioned that it is the cause. Because of this, we are here. That is our seed. And I mentioned if you do not want to get birth again, you have to clear the causal body, right? And this is what this important point here is, which travels with the soul, the subtle body travels with the soul even after death. So what happens is, at the time of death, the all our pranas, their function we will talk in detail, they transfers all our emotions, everything from our mind and intellect into the causal body. And when this causal body leaves the physical body, naturally, next time when you take birth, you are coming with all that garbage. Okay? Now we come to the next topic, which is the gross body. We will talk more in detail, which we call Annamaya Kosh. Now I will talk about something very familiar to you, your own physical body. We are very much aware of our physical body, but we will look at it not just as flesh and bones, but as a sacred covering of your inner self. In our scriptures, this body is called the gross body or the physical sheath. In Sanskrit, it is known as the Annamaya Kosha. Now, the word Anna means food, and Maya means made of or composed of. So, Annamaya Kosh means that which is made of food. This gross body of ours is built from the food we eat. It grows, sustains, and functions by food. At the time of birth, we were tiny, and over time, with food and nourishment, this body expanded and took shape. When we stop eating, the body eventually dies. Hence, it is clear this sheath is entirely food dependent. This physical body is what you see in the mirror. It includes all your organs, muscles, bones, skin, and all that is visible and measurable. It is tangible, solid, and perceivable by the senses. The physical body is a temple, a sacred vehicle. Without this body, we cannot perform our duties, offer service, or undertake the spiritual journey. It helps us walk, talk, see, hear, think, and interact with the world. It is through this body that we experience pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, heat and cold. Just like a boat is needed to cross a river, this gross body is needed to cross the ocean of life, which we call sansar. But remember, the boat is only a means to cross the river. It is not the destination. Therefore, the body is only an instrument for us. It is not the self, because I am pure soul. Because of causal body, I had to take the birth. And when I took the birth, I need to have a form. And that is why I have my physical body to eliminate my causal body rather than increasing the burden of my causal body. Let me describe a few important things about the physical body here. It is born and it dies. The physical body comes into existence at birth and ends with death. It is not eternal. It came with time and it will go with time. It is perishable. No matter how much care you take, this body is subject to decay, disease, and aging. It is inert by nature. The body by itself cannot function. It is like a car that needs a driver. And here, the driver is the self or consciousness. It is constantly changing. The child's body becomes a youth's body. We don't complain. And that changes into an old body. We start complaining. But the I in you remains the same. And here I am referring I to the pure Atman. These changes only belong to the body, not to you, the true self. Do not be overly attached to this physical body. Though it is useful, no doubt on that, it has its own set of limitations. Number one, it cannot give you permanent happiness. It constantly demands attention, food, sleep, comfort, care, etc. It suffers from disease, injury, and fatigue. It is affected by the environment, cold, heat, wind, and rain. When we identify ourselves only with this physical body, we fall into ignorance. That's the first mistake we do in our life. We think I am tall, I am weak, I am beautiful, or I am ugly. But in truth, you are not this body. You are the one who observes the body. And who observes the body? The pure self Atman. A wise seeker uses the body but never becomes attached to it. Just like a traveler who uses a vehicle to reach a destination but does not mistake the vehicle for the journey itself. Therefore, a spiritual seeker takes care of the body, honors it, but does not get enslaved by it. You must take care of this body with respect, feed it properly, exercise it, give it rest, but never forget it is not the real you. It is only the outermost covering, the outer layer of your true self. The gross body is only the first of the five sheets. Inside it, there are subtler layers. Your thoughts, your breathe, your intellect, and your bliss nature. As we go deeper, we come closer to who we really are, the pure, unchanging, eternal self. So begin your journey of self-realization by understanding your relationship with your body. Use it wisely, respect it, but do not worship it. Why? Because you are not this body. You are the life that shines through it. Now, before I continue further, let me go back to this picture again. So, what we are saying is, this is we are actually in true sense, pure, like the Brahman, the supreme consciousness. Now, because of our layer of causal body, Karan Sharira, I cannot recognize that this is what I am. And for me to make this clear, the blissful sheath or the causal body to clear it, and I'm here because of that. I have come to clear all my causal body garbage. But by mistake, I think this is what my physical sheath is. I'm this physical body. And instead of removing the garbage from causal body, I add more and more and more, right? So let us continue further. Now, this is the example we use in Vedanta majority of the time. It's an analogy of two birds on a tree. Now, what is happening is this bird, if you see the first one with the light, this is what is we are referring to the self pure Atman. And this bird, which is enjoying the fruits of the tree, it is called Jeev Atman, which is nothing but a combination of both. Okay. Now, let me explain to you this part. Now, imagine, visualize a beautiful tree, lush and full of fruits. Upon this tree, two birds are sitting side by side. One bird is busy eating the fruits of the tree. Some fruits are sweet and it delights in them. Some are bitter and it suffers. This bird is constantly jumping from branch to branch, seeking sweeter fruits, temporary, fearing the bitter ones, always restless, always disturbed. And this is what we refer to Jeev Atma. We have given the name Jeevat. The other bird is simply watching, pure self. It does not care. It is just a witness, Sakshi, calm, still, serene. It does not eat. It does not react. It is just witnessing everything that the first bird is doing without getting involved in the pleasure or pain of the fruits. This is not just a story. This is a mirror of your own inner reality. Now let us understand more in detail. Who are these two birds? The first bird, the one that eats and experiences pleasure and pain, is your individual self, the Jeev. It is the one who thinks, I am this body, I am this mind, I am happy, I am sad. It is caught in the web of desire, action, and reaction. It is the doer and the enjoyer. And the doer is a very important word here. Doer, when you say that I am doing this, which means you want the recognition, you want the award of that doing, and that is called ego. It gives birth to an ego, basically. The one who suffers and smiles, who hopes and fears. That's what Jiva we are talking. The second bird, which is silent and majestic, is your true self, the Atman, the witness, Sakshi. It is always present, but untouched by the world. It neither eats the fruits nor gets entangled in joy or sorrow. It just watches. It is pure awareness, unchanging and infinite. It is the very presence that allows all experiences to happen. Now, what is this tree on which both birds are sitting? It is this body and this world. The branches are your senses. The fruits are your experiences. Sometimes they are sweet, sometimes they are bitter. The restless bird, the jiva, keeps fluttering through the world of experiences, trying to find lasting happiness. But the sad part is, no fruit of the world can give permanent satisfaction. Sweetness turns bitter, joy turns to sorrow. The bird becomes tired and hopeless. Then something wonderful happens. The bird that was eating finally pauses. It turns and notices the other bird, serene, peaceful, unaffected. In that silent moment, it wonders, who is that still one, always free, never troubled? And it slowly begins to realize, I am not just this eater of fruits. I am also that silent, eternal witness. This moment of realization is the beginning of a spiritual awakening. This is the journey of Vedanta, to turn inward, to stop fluttering after fruits, and to rest in the peace of your true nature. So, what are the key teachings? Number one, you are not the restless bird lost in the ups and downs of life. You are the silent witness, free, divine, complete. The suffering ends the moment you realize your true nature. You may still live in the world, there is no question on that, just like the birds sit on the tree. But once you know that you are the witnessing bird, the fruits of life no longer disturb you. You gain a deep inner peace, a joy that is not based on what happens outside, but arises from your own self. Now, let us see this one, the relationship between the individual jeev, the enjoyer, the cosmos, and Brahman. Jeev, individual self, the cosmos, the whole cosmos, the too many words are there, like Earth, all our planets, we are referring everything, and Brahman. Last week we discussed about from Brahman, the subtlest, comes the sky, space, then uh, Vayu, air, and then fire, water, and earth. So the Brahman is the most subtlest. Now imagine a single drop of water. Now imagine the vast ocean. The drop may appear separate for a moment, but in truth, it belongs to the ocean. It is the ocean in essence, though small in form. In the same way, you, the individual soul, which we call the Jeev, seem to be small, separate identity, but in truth, you are deeply connected with the universe, the cosmos, and rooted in the supreme reality called Brahman. Now, let me explain steps like walking through a spiritual garden, one flower at a time. The word Jeev refers to the individual soul, the living being with consciousness, mind, desires, experiences, and a sense of I or ego. It is that spark of life within you which says, I am. It is not the body, not the thoughts, not the senses, but the consciousness witness behind them. Every living being, whether a human, bird, fish, or even a small insect, carries a jeev within. Now let us see this analogy. Just as each candle has its own little flame, every living being has its own consciousness, its own jeev. Yet all these flames arise from fire, just as all the jivas arise from Brahman. Now, each point what I'm discussing today is really, you must sit, read this document again, sit in meditation, try to concentrate on these points, try to meditate on each point. The cosmos is the entire universe, the stars, planets, time, space, laws of nature, living and non-living things. It is a grand, intelligent, ordered creation. It is not random. It is a manifestation of divine energy and intelligence. In the Bhagavad Gītā in chapter 10, Bhagavan says, I am the source of all creation. Everything proceeds from me. The cosmos is like a body, and in this body, each living being is like a cell. Each cell plays a role in the health and functioning of the larger organism. I gave this example actually mentioned in one of the topic, that cell within our body and we, the whole physical body, the relation between them. Brahman is the supreme, infinite, all pervading consciousness. It is not a person or object. It is pure being, pure awareness, and pure bliss. It cannot be seen with the eyes, but it is that by which the eyes see. It is beyond name and form, but it supports all names and forms. In the Upanishads, Brahman is described as that from which all beings are born, by which they live, and into which they dissolve. Brahman is like space, limitless, eternal, unchanging, and yet everything exists within it. Now, the question is how the Jiva relates to the cosmos and Brahman. Step one, think of the Jiva as a cell in the cosmic body. Now, when I say the cosmic body, here you can visualize your own physical body and the cell, one small tiny cell in your body. That is the miniature version. Now, if you think about the cosmos, the Brahman and the cosmic body, that's what you can do, compare. Think of the Jeev as a cell in the cosmic body. Just as every cell in your body has its own life and function, every Jeev has a purpose within the greater design of the universe. Some jivas are born as animals, some as trees, some as humans. All are working together in this grand play of life. Now, in our physical body, also, we have cell of my bone, self of my mind, self of my hand, and cell of my leg. Each cell is different. Key insight here is each jiva is small but not unimportant. Like a drop in the ocean, it reflects the nature of the whole. Now we come to number two. Now let us go more deeper. The jiva may appear separate, but it is never truly separate from Brahman. Just as a wave is never apart from the ocean, the jiva is never apart from Brahman. And we say, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that, or that you are, says the Chandogya Upanishad. Meaning, you, the Jeev, are none other than Brahman in essence. But then you may ask, if I am Brahman, why do I feel small, limited, and separate? The feeling of separation comes because of Maya, ignorance. This is the divine illusion. It is like a cloud covering the sun. The sun is still shining, but we cannot see it. And now, if you think our pure soul, self Atman, is covered with the cloud of causal body. Due to Maya, the Jeev identifies with the body, mind, and ego and forgets its true nature as Brahman. Now, see this example. When you dream, you think the dream world is real. Only when you wake up, you realize it was just a dream. Similarly, when the Jiva wakes up through knowledge, it sees I'm not this limited body, I am Brahman. From individual to universal, the journey back. The spiritual journey is nothing but this return, the Jeev realizing its oneness with Brahman, from the many to the one, from the form to the formless, from the changing to the changeless. The scriptures teach that the Jeev, through self inquiry, meditation, devotion, and right action, can purify the mind and realize the truth. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman, pure consciousness. The enlightened Jeev, a living example, a realized being like a Buddha, a Rishi, or a true Guru, has understood this truth. Though they live in a body and appear to act like others, inside they're always established in oneness with Brahman. They're like waves that know they are water, peaceful, fearless, and full of compassion. Om Purnamadaha Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.